How's it going, everybody? I'm the BTC Reaper, and my goal on this channel is to teach you how to reap the rewards of trading with the prices going up or down. Republicans blast SEC for shady Promethean broker approval. Led by Patrick McHenry, the politicians say that the timing of the approval raises serious questions, especially given the state of the crypto regulation in the United States. They say the timing raises concerns as it was aimed at demonstrating that legislation is not needed and that there's a workable framework for the digital asset security industry, and it came at a time where these Republicans were mentioning that we need to comb over the laws. No other crypto exchange could manage to secure approval under this framework, and all of a sudden this company does. And this also occurred in the same month that HSFC This also occurred in the same month that the HSFC held hearings related to digital asset legislation aimed at drawing clearer lines around which crypto assets on the SEC would have jurisdictions over. So, right when they started that, that's when the SEC said, hey, we have a broker that all of a sudden can get through. It's the only one that can get through. They have no customers and they have no listings. While Promethean claims that the silver bullet for the regulated digital asset offerings has yet to serve a single customer, argued HFSC. It has also refused to make public the digital asset securities that they would support on their platform, so they don't even offer anything. Binance US seeks protective order against phishing expeditions by the SEC. Not bad for the SEC going on right now. According to the company's late Monday filing, however, the discovery requests made by the SEC have gone far beyond the scope agreed by the consent order that they agreed to and amount to an inappropriate phishing expedition, claims Binance. So they're basically saying that the SEC is trying to get more information than they agreed to give them and trying to just force their way through information that isn't related to this order. The SEC has been steadfast in its beliefs that the consent order gives it carte blanche to investigate every aspect of our asset custody practices without any discernible limitation whatsoever. Specifically, Binance US claims that the SEC is demanding expansive communications and deposition testimony from company executives on dozens of topics unrelated to customer assets. The request states that the company has worked in good faith in response to the SEC's request, and they are taking steps to ensure that the US assets are held in US custody as part of that. So not very much more. Crypto custodian Prime Trust filing for bankruptcy. So the bankruptcy filing follows Prime Trust's placement into receivership in late June by Nevada regulators who determined that the company was insolvent, unable to service their customers. That action came after a series of difficulties for them over the last year. So not very much more on that. So we'll have to see what kind of comes from that. So it looks like we got our drop down, like I was telling you. Came back into our zone, so we did get our breakout, and we came back in. So we are making a retest. Technically, our pattern played out, and it's done. But we could still see some further moves. That must have been a glitch on the candle because it's not even in the same spot today. So what's going on with you, Trading View? Because that candle was well above this line, and I have not moved that line. But I digress. We are getting a red X. We are dropping, coming back into our channel. Stochastic is pushing down. RSI is coming down. Money flow is coming out. Our VWAP's breaking into that bearish territory, giving that momentum the red X. So we're going to see that to continue down if that VWAP continues into the bearish territory. Over on Bitcoin dominance, we are getting that bounce. So everything went from total into Bitcoin. Likely, everything's going to go from Bitcoin into stablecoins soon now, because that's just usually how it circles. We did get a long upper shadow candle. That is a bearish candle. That is suggestive that we could break this, as we've hit it a few times. We are just filling that gap. So this could be a fill of the gap. We could come down, break this, fill our other gaps that are here and here, as well as we still have probably lower gaps. I'm not going to get into those on that. We'll get into those on the futures. Those will be a little easier to see any kind of gaps there. But we do have dominance gaps down. Keep that in mind. Stochastic is falling, RSI is bouncing. If you remember how anchor gaps have been going lately, if you haven't been watching anchor, you should watch the last few days. We've been gapping around and you'll get an idea of why I talk about gaps. Momentum's trying to come up, money flow's coming out. Our VWAP's trying to push against that neutral, wants to go bullish, but we're starting to curl out. So even though we got this candle, there's a few things signaling that it may be a bearish signal in disguise, so just keep an eye on tomorrow's candle. Bitcoin dominance, we are overall just sliding down, inching our way down. Stochastic is pushing down, RSI is falling. Our money flow has broken in the bearish territory. VWAP has fallen, our momentum is coming out, so overall we are getting pushes down here. I'm not going to go into the 4 hour, we will go look at those gaps though. So this is that lower gap that we have around 20k yet to fill. So if we do not hold this range and we stay in this red money flow and make new lows on it, we could head toward that. However, if we do manage to push away and curl back into this pattern, we could fill our other higher gap up here, which is from way further back. So just keep that in mind. Bitcoin is kind of flat. We are still within our flag. We have a manipulation X here right against that support line that wants to break us down. Keep an eye on that, as that could be what breaks us away from here. If we do get a breakdown around here, that could push us to the beginning of the outside of our larger ascending channel, which ascending channels are bearish patterns, and this could be a slanted head and shoulder, so we have multiple things working against us. We are near that point of control, so if we do break this, it's likely we could get a real quick move one way or another, as it's the zone of manipulation. Watch our video on that, but Stochastic is falling, RSI is starting to fall, our money flow is taking a dip, our VWAP is falling, and our momentum is coming. So we are falling into the bearish territory, getting more bearish momentum and more weight on that bearish side. Hit that like if you're finding value in our videos every day. Hit that subscribe if you haven't already. If you've come across our videos and find it hard to find, subscribe. I'm a small channel, hard to find me if you don't subscribe. Also join our Discord, get engaged. We're going to be doing some 3D printing. People are commenting in the Discord, and as well as people I know, things are looking real good. So we are going to be doing some stuff real soon. I am learning 3D modeling on that, so I'm learning more stuff to help do stuff for you guys. More yet to come, but if you want in, you gotta be in that Discord. Over on the 4 hour, we are going to push down. The Discord is free, by the way. RSI is falling, Stochastic is falling, money flow is falling, our VWAP is falling. Got a pretty sharp fall. We are trying to recover from that fall, getting a green candle. So just watch out. We could get some bullish momentum here. If that does happen, that money flow could flip back into bullish territory on the other. Are we bearish yet? No, we are going toward bearish. I believe the 1 hour is what broke bearish today. Yeah, we broke down here earlier. So if that maintains, just keep an eye out for that, but we'll get into that. So 4 hour, our momentum's coming down. Money flow is trying to maintain bullish momentum, but overall curling away, just riding above that neutral. So we need that to make a strong bounce and get some new highs. Otherwise, we could end up with a downtrend. RSI is starting to trend out. Stochastic's pretty beat down, wants to get across, but starting to roll away, so that cross may not have very much strength. Our VWAP's trying to head up toward that neutral, so our VWAP does want to make a move to try and break through to the bullish side. If that can happen, our momentum would get a green dot. That green dot would help carry us up. Money flow is in the bearish territory, trying to kind of flirt with it. We aren't getting new lows yet, so if we do take a dip back up to the bullish side and get a new high or past this like 4 zone, then that would look good for us to have a move up. Over on the 1 hour, money flow is heavy in the bearish territory, made a retest and rejected. We did make a similar low and we are coming back up. So if we do come up, we could come for another retest. If we get rejected there, we would want to expect another new low in order for price to continue down. RSI is trending out. Stochastic is very beat down with a bearish cross that brought us lower, so we did get beat down by that. Over on graph for the daily, we have a pretty long wick, not too good for us. I believe we were trying to make that uptrend, got rejected here. This is a long lower shadow candle, so It is a pretty big sell-off that we have, but it does show that the bears weren't able to maintain complete control of this range right here, and that the bulls were able to suppress us at least from the lower half of it. If the bulls can keep us going above this range, then we could possibly see that point of control. Otherwise, if we open with another red candle tomorrow, we could see further downside and continue to leech toward that value area low there. Our stochastic's making a bit of a divergence. We are trying to range here. Not really going to be a helpful divergence though. It's more of a bearish divergence, so that's more of a sign down. RSI is pointing down, VWAP's in that bearish territory. Money flow is breaking that neutral, so it could flip into the bearish territory as well. And those are giving our momentum that red dot. So overall, we're pretty bad looking right here. Maybe we get a dip like this and then recover. We'll have to kind of evaluate if that can happen as it happens. Over on the 4 hour, we are kind of rejecting away. We have this pretty much just descending channel. If we stay in a channel like this, it would be likely we could get a break up, as descending channels are bullish patterns. RSI is overall crashing down pretty hard, trying to get a little bit of a bounce here on the last couple of candles. Our momentum is in the bearish territory pretty heavily, and our VWAP is trying to make new lows with this VWAP, so we are gaining more bearish momentum there. Stretch it out for you. So if that VWAP continues making newer lows, we could continue seeing a drop down. Our money flow is coming out, so if that breaks through the bearish side, that could also help set us down. Our stochastic's pretty beat down, riding that oversold area. So if that stochastic doesn't get above that 30, the RSI is likely to come back down toward it. Over on the 2 hour, RSI is overall trending out. Stochastic is getting a little bit of a bullish divergence that wants to head up, but we are getting a red candle that wants to make that divergence reject. Our VWAP is pushing up, so that VWAP's doing alright, but if we reject away and curl from here, we could meet resistance at about this 4 zone. Then that could set up a new downtrend, especially if we continue with new or continual lows. As you see, we had a low here, same low, big candle drop. So just watch out. Momentum is coming down. It does want to curl as our VWAP's trying to break bullish, but if we don't manage to break bullish, this momentum could just ride this overbought or oversold area. Sorry. Stochastic's starting to round off. RSI is starting to round off here on the 1 hour. Money flow's overall trending out. Our VWAP is making lower highs and struggling to maintain strong bullish momentum, so we could see it give up strength here. Our momentum does have a double green dot that wants to bring us up, so that could be a positive sign, but we're going to have to watch if that VWAP continues up or not. Over on Anchor for the daily, we got big rejection, almost our full move for our wedge, so I'm going to delete this, and I wouldn't really bet on us coming back for a retest for it. I'm also going to just completely delete the pattern at this point, so we did break our value area low as well. So now that we've broken our value area low, our next point of supports are around this zone at 2 cents. Or around this zone at about 1.5 cents. So if we break both those zones, we could set new lows, as I believe that this Fibonacci zone goes to the very bottom. Yeah, hasn't ever been lower than that zone right here from December 2022. So overall, I believe that was around the time that Sam Bankman-Fried crashed the market, around November, December. RSI is starting to dip, our money flow is starting to dip. Yeah, I actually remember that day. Remember watching big YouTubers act like everything was going to be fine. But VWAP is pushing away, momentum is coming out. So overall, we have more bearish momentum here than bullish momentum. And these are dipping down pretty strong, so they could get a corrective move back up. But I wouldn't get too excited. We might just come up to this value area low, retest it, and then we could reject it, fill these kind of candles. We do have that wick here that we could fill, so we could come back down, fill this wick, and then make a bounce at our most. But overall, we don't have any patterns to support that right now, so we could just as easily get a run up. Over on the 4 hour, we have manipulation X's all over that brought us way down. Our RSI is trying to kind of stabilize around this 24 zone, so just under that 30, just under the neutral level. Stochastic is pretty beat down in the oversold area, wants to get a little bit of a cross happening. We'll have to see if that can happen and gain some weight. Our VWAP is making new lows and overall trending down. It is trying to come back up, so if we make a new lower high here, we could confirm a downtrend and see this VWAP fall away again and possibly another swing down then. Our momentum does want to come up. We could get a green dot. Our money flow is pretty decent for a bounce, so we may get a bounce off this neutral with our money flow. We'll have to keep an eye on that. Excuse me. Over on the 2-hour, RSI overall is falling. Our stochastic is pushing up. Our VWAP is trying to push through that neutral. Money flow is trying to push up, but we are making a new lower high. So if we curl away and make a newer low, we could have that downtrend coming. Our momentum is trying to get a bit of a curl as that VWAP wants to make that push, but we are getting a red candle, so if we don't break through here, we could see a rejection. Over on the 1 hour, we have a little bit of gappiness going on, like I figured. Usually when you get big moves, you'll see gaps. It's not usually when you get these goofy moves like here that you gap. That's very unusual to see as many gaps as we had. But we have a gap here around 2.3, almost 2.5. So we could fill that gap. We also have this gap at 2.2, so not very big of a difference in reality. But we do have those two gaps. We are currently heading down, so it is possible we could come and fill this wick. Let's see if that wick has any gaps real quick. This made any gaps when we ran up. We could come back and fill them. Yeah, we're down over here. We are kind of in that there was kind of a gap just around that 2.2 level. So this could be us just coming down, filling that gap, and then we could see a move forward from there. But over onto XRP now, enough of anchor. So we are pushing, we did push our value area low, did push our support resistance area like I've been warning over the last few days, and people probably thought I was nuts. So we pushed all those zones, and we do have a long lower shadow candle. That shows that the sellers managed to try and push us down, but weren't ultimately successful holding us down too far. RSI is dipping, stochastic is falling away, VWAP is rejecting away, money flow is coming out, that momentum is getting a red dot and coming down, so that momentum could get another leg down, just watch out for that. Over on the 4 hour, we have manipulation X's that broke us down and we got a real big fall. Our RSI is trying to make a bounce, stochastic wants to make a bounce. Our money flow is overall trending out away from right here, so when we got that lower high and started to curl away, that's when we got to break down. Momentum is coming out pretty hard, so overall we have quite a bit of indicators that got a large off sale. Could correct this with a big pump up, but we'll have to see how the rest of the market kind of takes. Our momentum does want to get somewhat of a curl. We'll have to see if that VWAP can continue its upwards trajectory. If it gets rejected around this 15 zone though, then we could have another leg down. Over on the 2 hour here, you can see that manipulation X's all brought us down pretty sharply, pretty quick. RSI is overall dipping, stochastic dipped pretty hard, but is trying to make a strong rebound, so if it can get above that 30 and hold, we could give some life back to that RSI. Our VWAP does want to press against that neutral as well, so if that VWAP can flip bullish, it could give this momentum a green dot to push us up. Our money flow is making bounces off the neutral. Keep an eye on that. If we break toward the bearish side, then we could be set up to fall back into these ranges, and then if we don't hold those ranges, we could see further lower price action. Over on the 1 hour, our stochastic is running up pretty strong but starting to taper off, so keep an eye on that as we could start to fall away from here. RSI is starting to lose strength, our VWAP is starting to curl out, and our money flow is starting to curl out as well, just after breaking to the bullish side. Didn't really get a strong bearish swing, but if we come back down and break bearishly strong, we could see another strong move down. Our momentum does want to come up, it has a double green dot, but with that VWAP rolling, that may not play out. Finally, on the daily for algo, real quick, if you haven't already, hit that like. The video is almost done. Last coin, unless you suggest we add some. Our price is dropping. We are hitting this value area low for this little micro trend we had here. If we break that value area low, we have this Fibonacci level around this 9-cent zone. That would be our next support. Our stochastic and RSI are falling pretty hard. Momentum is coming down with the red dot as our VWAP is breaking in the bearish territory. Our money flow is rejecting away still and continuing pretty decent trajectory. If this continues, we could see further downside. Over on the 4-hour here, there's a manipulation X that brought us down. Our momentum is coming down. RSI is coming down pretty harsh. Our stochastic's pretty beat down. Our VWAP is making slightly lower lows. So if we make a new lower high, we could start some sort of downtrend. Keep an eye out for that, as if that happens, then this momentum won't get a green dot to push it up. Money flow is starting to taper off as well, so we could just have some kind of like slanted double top that could push us lower, or like stretched out double top, however you want to look at it. Stretch it this way, looks a little cleaner, but I want to keep it more visual for you. RSI is dropping pretty hard. Stochastic wants to make a pretty decent bounce. Our VWAP's trying to press through that neutral, so if that VWAP can make a strong bullish move, we may see that stochastic and RSI rebound, and that momentum will get a green dot to push forward as well. Money flow is trying to reject away from that neutral, so if that continues, we could see further bearish action. We're going to need that money flow to flip bullish if we're going to get a bullish trend. Over on the 1-hour, stochastic is trying to run back up, but it's trying to taper off already, so this may be a rounding top. Watch out for that. RSI is starting to lose some strength. VWAP's starting to reject away from this like 7 zone where it's rejected several times. So if that happens, we could have another leg down, just like the other times. Money flow is overall falling into the bearish territory, but it's getting higher lows, so that is positive. If that continues, we could push that neutral and flip bullish. That momentum does want to get a double green dot and curl back up, but that VWAP's looking pretty weak. Thank you for watching tonight's video. I hope you have a great night. Again, like the video and subscribe if you haven't, and join that Discord.